I got some dirty shit to pick up at the dry cleaner. I got a tidy bitch to pick up, I got love Selena. Shawty hop up in the whip, but I ain't never seen her. Shawty love the way I whip it in a two-seater.
Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today I want to cover how you're going to correct a diet that's not working for you. So this is an image I was sent by a subscriber the other day, basically asking for advice. He's trying to lose weight and it's not working for him, so he sent me this to sort of review it. He's someone I'm helping in the background to try and sort of get some weight off him. Obviously I'm not going to get into details about him. However, yeah, I want to kind of critique this and kind of go through why what he's doing isn't actually working and how to fix it. So if you haven't seen my previous video on the Get Ripped in 12 Weeks, then I recommend you go and see that. There'll be a card, one of the information card things there. I'll also link it as the last video in the end sequence as well, so you can go and check that if you want to. But I'm going to base this off that video again on sort of the low carb keto style diet that I've actually designed. So for breakfast, this person had a smoothie. The carbohydrates are 62 grams, 1 gram of fat, 3 grams of protein. The macros here are completely wrong for weight loss, particularly when you're trying to lose weight. If you're trying to gain weight, it could be a great way to start the day. Carbohydrates first thing make you hungry for the rest of the day due to the insulin spike you get from it. So you want to have protein and fat for your breakfast, not carbohydrates, ideally. So on to lunch. Crisp bread crackers, 1 cup of Earl Grey tea with sugar, and 6 grams of flour. So one thing he did right here was he actually tracked everything that he had. What he's actually done wrong here we're going to go through now. So he had crackers for lunch. This is a myth that seems to have gone around for a long time about the whole, eat crackers, lose weight crap. It just doesn't work. So the thing he's doing wrong here, he's having crackers for lunch. He's also having flour. He's using margarine. Margarine is extremely unhealthy for you. Its closest relation is plastic. It's grey in colour when it's made, and it's actually dyed yellow. Okay, so you actually should be using butter, not any form of margarine. Even I can't believe it's not butter. It's not butter. It's still margarine. So yeah, so he had the crackers, he had the tea, he tracked the sugar in the tea. He didn't track milk, so I'm going to guess that he had it as a black tea. And obviously he tracked the margarine, we've covered that part already. Again, the meal is high in carbohydrate, low in fat, low in protein. Again, another myth that's obviously gone out is the fact that you should be low fat when you try to lose weight or try to lose fat. That's not the case. Dinner's actually not too bad, actually. So he's tracked his green beans, 250 grams of green beans. That's a lot of green beans. And he's had chickpeas, boiled chicken breast, 125 grams, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and 10 grams of flour. So again, the flour, covered that already. The olive oil, he's tracked that. Fantastic. I hope he's not cooking in it. You shouldn't cook in olive oil. You should be cooking in something like coconut oil. It's got a higher smoking point, which means it's healthier for you. And the best thing about this meal is actually it's the only meal that he's actually had proper protein in. And yeah, it's not too bad a meal. There's things I would change in it. I would take out the chickpeas. I would take out the carbohydrate sources, basically. Is how I would change this. That would be a more effective fat loss meal. I'd be happy with the protein levels. The fat levels, as soon as you take the flour out, that's going to reduce it a little bit more. Obviously the chickpeas, take them out, and then suddenly you're down to 22 grams of fat. Perfect. Snacks, another cup of Earl Grey tea, no sugar this time by the looks of it, and 1 banana. Banana, great for potassium. It's a nice fruit to eat, but again, it's carbohydrate, it's starchy carbohydrate as well, so something you want to avoid. So looking down at the bottom here, you can see here is totals: 1268 calories, 171 grams of carbs, 36 grams of fat, 60 grams of protein. His sodium levels are also too low as well. You should have your sodium levels up a little bit higher, somewhere near the sort of daily goal is good. Try and get that from something called pink Himalayan salt if you can. Don't know why I keep wanting to call it sea salt. It's not actually sea salt, but that's actually very, very good salt for you to use. It's loaded with micronutrients that you should be using, not to be confused with macronutrients. Macronutrients are your big ones, obviously we've covered that before. Micronutrients are the little nutrients that you're going to get, and you need those in your diet as well. So his daily goal is 1580 calories. The carbohydrates nearly 200 grams, fats 53, and protein 79. This is probably going to be the default macro setup that MyFitnessPal puts in. I would imagine that's kind of how it's set out. This is actually wrong for effective weight loss. His calories are way too low. even his daily goals way too low. I know this person's weight, his daily goals, his calories should be around the sort of 2000 mark, 1800 if you're trying to push a little bit more. But 1268 calories, that's not even enough for me to lose fat, guys. I'm only 160, I think probably 161 pounds now. That's not even enough for me to lose fat. So how are we going to correct this? I've gone into MyFitnessPal. I've not changed my daily breakdown for the day as in my goals, but I've actually put in a sample meal plan for this person and for you guys if you're suffering from the same things and want to know how to turn your diet around. So one breakfast I always recommend is a 3 whole egg omelette with 30 grams of feta cheese and 100 grams of spinach. So again, I was talking before about the cooking oil, coconut oil, one teaspoon, so it's a third of a tablespoon, so 1 teaspoon, and that's going to give you a decent fat level and a decent protein level to start your day off. You are going to get trace amounts of the carbohydrates. That's going to come from the spinach. I'm going to take all the vegetables out and show you the actual breakdown, because if you remember before I said you don't bother tracking your vegetables if you're having fibrous green veg, there's no point, but I've put it in here just so you can see the example. Lunch, let's go to mid-morning snack. Actually, mid-morning snack, I've done this for people who are on the go all the time, who don't have time to sit and eat a meal mid-morning and then again mid-afternoon. You should be eating numerous times a day rather than just sort of the big 3 meals. So I put it down as a whey protein shake and 20 grams of almonds. Sometimes you have to take the almonds down to lower the fat a little bit. If you've got more fat in your diet, obviously you want to be putting them up a little bit, but to make this work for roughly what I would do for someone my build, or my weight, this is roughly what I would do. So that's your mid-morning snack. Lunch, about 200 grams of 10% minced beef and 100 grams of broccoli. Doesn't care how you cook your broccoli. You can steam it, you can pressure cook it, you can boil it, whatever you want to do, doesn't really matter. But you won't be tracking the broccoli anyway. But 200 grams of 10% minced beef, that's going to give you, just from the beef, that's going to give you 44 grams of protein, 19 grams of fat and 0 grams of carbohydrates. Perfect. So mid-afternoon, you're going to have another protein shake and 30 grams of Brazil nuts. That's going to give you the protein and fats that you need. And then on to dinner, 200 gram chicken breast, 100 grams of curly kale. That's going to give you 100 grams of fibrous green veg. You're going to get the chicken breast on there. I've not put any oil down for this because we grill our chicken or we'll steam it, however you want to do it. If I'm cooking in oil, naturally I would track the oil as I did with the breakfast. I wouldn't have cooked oil with this mince here because you don't need it, because the fat level's higher. You don't need oil to cook that with. And then pre-bed, I always like to have something pre-bed. So by this point, if you're new to eating this amount, you're probably not going to be able to stomach much when it comes to pre-bed. So I put you down for a scoop of casein and a scoop of whey protein. Just double them both up together. That's going to give you something that's going to last in your stomach throughout the night, and that will give you 50 grams of protein pre-bed. Very low carbohydrate. So you can see the bottom down here. That equates to 1725 calories. 25 grams of carbohydrates, that's the vegetables, we'll take them out in a second and show you. 78 grams of fat and 229 grams of protein. So let's take out the vegetables now and you'll see what that actually equates to, because if you remember I did say don't bother tracking your vegetables. So if you did miss that part, and it's on the track your macros and the macronutrient basics video, I recommend you check it out. So down now, having taken this off, so now the calories would be slightly too low, so you'd want to implement something a little bit more. So just add like a bit of extra chicken breast here, or include some oil in here. 18 grams of carbohydrates is under that 20 gram limit that I set before. The fat is 76 grams and the protein is 219 grams. I'm a smidgen off 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight at that point here. So that's how you would correct a diet. That's how you should be eating roughly to lose weight. Just make it work for you in one form or another. If you cannot lose, or if you cannot do low carb dieting, make sure that you have your carbohydrates around workouts and sort of later in the day, sort of evening mealtime, and don't go crazy with it. Try and keep your carbohydrates as low as possible. For the most consistent fat loss, obviously I recommend my RIP to 12 weeks diet that I've put on. I do recommend you check that video out. So if you like this video, guys, please drop it a like and drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your comments on how you think the channel's going, anything you'd like me to do in the future, what you thought of these videos, just anything. These videos take time, guys. I'd rather have a direction that you guys want me to be going in rather than just blindly walking off. and then not really serving my subscriber base. So yeah, please take some time, drop a comment below, let me know what you think, and if you liked all this, subscribe to the channel, ding the bell, and I will see you on the next one. Take care guys, bye.